Go back to the article, and I'm going to go to that video, I believe, next. So go back to the article.
Generation Z.
Come on.
This generation is dependent on
what?
technology.
Hold on, it's what?
Is dependent.
It's what?
Dependent.
That means you can't survive without what?
Technology.
The white man says you'll die if I take away technology. I done got you. Generation Z, if I unplug you, you'll die. That's like Neo in the Matrix. I'll pull you out, you can't breathe. That's how bad he got it on you. He said, this generation, I've got them dependent on me. Read on. Now listen, how bad is Alpha if Generation Z can't live without technology? Read.
What is Generation Alpha?
Now what's Alpha? Y'all, a lot of y'all ain't heard of this, but you're breeding your children to be part of this generation. It's weaker and weaker over time. Read.
What happens with a millennial What happens with a millennial has a baby?
Yeah, that's their grammar. What happens when a millennial has a baby? Woo! Usually they're single. They're a single parent for one. For one, they're a single parent. One is a woman raising it. I'm talking about our people. Our people is a doggone woman raising it. Hold on. Drop it down. Put me back up. Give me Isaiah 3 and 12. What happens when a millennial has a baby? I'm going to show you what happens. For the most part, with our people, it's a single parent household. Or it's two people in that household, they don't even get along, and it still feel like a single parent household. Give me Isaiah 3 and 12.
Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12.
What happens when a millennial has a baby? Watch this. Read.
As for my people.
When you don't repent, as for the children of God, the Israelites, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, read. Children
are their oppressors.
You make oppressors. You make children that come after your own people. You make trouble. That's what happens when a millennial has a baby. You generate oppressors. Read.
And women rule over them.
These are weak-minded men, or even weaker-minded women, that get generated when millennials have babies. Come on.
O my people.
Oh, my people.
They which lead thee cause thee to err.
Ain't talking about no other race. The Israelites. They who you left in charge, these women cause you to err. Read.
And destroy the way of thy path.
And destroy the way of thy paths. Mean you do not seek to the one true God. Now go back to the article. It said, as for my people, children are their oppressors. That's what happens when a millennial has a baby. We'll read that.
What happens when a millennial has a baby?
So what happens when a millennial has a baby? Read.
That child is then called an alpha.
It's an alpha generation. Come on.
Generation Alpha is hands down the most tech-infused generation.
It's like you getting microchips. Well, not microchips. You can have camps bug out and say some crazy stuff. You getting technology injected all in your body. You on an IV of internet. You are infused. You know what they say, you get an iron infusion, you're hooked up to iron for hours, and they have to just, that's you. You got cords and stuff all up in you. Wish I had a picture of that. Come on.
Being born between 2010 and 2025.
Being born between 2010 and 2025. That's the you real new people out there. That's still good 20, what's that? That's 10, 15 years. Wow. That's a good 15-year span right there. So there's some 15-year-olds that are in Generation Alpha. That's your children. That's your teenagers. That's why a lot of them get lost, because they're plugged in. They're on Discord. Y'all don't even know what Discord is. Better go find out. Discord got topics. They'll be on that channel with their classmates, and it all look good. Oh, yeah, the teacher told us to get this. And there'll be one topic for the school, and then there's 99 topics for LGBT, porn, all kinds of stuff all throughout. We've seen it. There'll be a video game here or there, but really, so they can go in there and discuss and converse in wickedness and lewdness. Come on.
They are the first generation, all born in the 21st century.
So they're the most tech. So if the last generation was dependent on technology, what's this next one? What's this next one? That's it on the article. Y'all can drop that. So what's this next generation? If Generation Z was dependent and couldn't live without it, this next generation Alpha, that's your tablet babies. Y'all slide, you know, we all guilty of tablet in some form or fashion, but some of them, the little baby, you ever seen how a kid acts with a phone like a child, like a real infant? They know to press the buttons. How the hell do they know to push the buttons? Hold your phone out until your baby. Those y'all that got like a 6-month-old, a 9-month-old. Hold your phone. They want it. Put TikTok up. Watch what they do. They want to hit it. They want to scroll it. How they know to do that? They are tech infused. They use the tablet better than you. You got parental stuff on there. They know how to get the locks off and stuff like that. Little kids, little 3-year-olds, 4 or 5, 6-year-olds. And guess what? Bad stuff still pops up on them tablets. I don't care if you got a little cute little case on it. It still be all kinds of wickedness that'll slide in there that you won't be looking for. You won't be checking for it. IT, pull me up that video. Let's talk about Fortnite for a second. Let's talk about Fortnite. Some of y'all know what that is. If you don't know and you got kids, you better go check on them. They in Fortnite. Fortnite, and we ain't gonna go deep into this. This is just an example of one game. Yeah, y'all got my timestamps, right? So this is the title of this is called The Success. Can you move me down? It says The Success of Fortnite, a Psychology and UX Perspective. Why are we talking about psychology and we playing a video game? Why are we talking about how good the game was? And he's like, let's go into psychology because they've hacked your brain. This is what this is about. It's no longer we're going to have fun and be idle for a second. It's like, this was successful because we have made breakthroughs in psychology and manipulation and mind control. This is why Fortnite's a success. So jump to those timestamps. Give me that first timestamp.
Keep in mind that the brain is extremely complex, that this is just a way to simplify it. All right, so for each of these, perception, memory, and attention, I'm going to give you the main limitation that we have in our brain and how to take into account this limitation and how we overcome that in Fortnite, for example. So let's start with perception. Can you tell me, what do you perceive in this image?
Now
Can you yell it out on me?
Now pause. You'll be like, this is a video game person. She works with a video game company. What are we talking about? She says, what do you perceive in that image? I was like, I don't get it. But then if you really look at it, just look at it right now. You know what that is. It ain't nothing but colored bars. You know what that is. Watch, play on.
Yeah, I heard it. All right, Street Fighter. How many of you perceive?
Stop. Now, y'all watching this. How many of y'all can see that? Some of y'all might not. Those y'all that grew up with Street Fighter, you know what each character is right there, don't you? See, Polite is what seen that thing. He just bugged out. You see that? It ain't even nothing. There's nothing there but a couple colors. But you know about every character up there. They done hacked our minds. And we're not even the Generation Z. That's how good they are with how they can control stuff. We looking at colors like Ryu is at the top, Ken's at the bottom, there's Chun-Li right there, there's Guile, there's Blanca right there. How the hell I know that? That's just like 3 bars of certain colors. They don't even look like a person. What have they done to me? What have they done to me? What are they doing to you with these other games? If the old 1992, I believe, 93 Street Fighter, they was already working on your brain where for the rest of your life, these certain colors in this order tell you information. What are they doing to our kids right now? Oh, you all wrapped up in it. You got to pull their ass out of that stuff. Pull them out. Because they done sown all kinds of evil in their brains. Think about the sexualization of video games. What are they sticking in there? You think there's some gay stuff in there? Oh, you better believe there's a little bit of gay stuff in there. You see 3 colors and hear a song. Fortnite's all about music, ain't it? And now all our kids know all these little strange, little funky dances. Some of them are effeminate dances. And they just kick them off. I'm like, what you do? Where you get that dance from, Fortnite? All right. What are they getting taught by that dance? What are they getting taught by their actions in this game? Play on. Just finish. Go to the time step I told you. I think I told you where to stop it.
Street Fighter characters in this image. Well, I don't have a lot of gamers today. Okay.
I think you can play it a little bit more. I think you can go in a little bit further.
So it is indeed a representation of Street Fighter characters. And when I show that usually to game developers, I have about like 30% of people like Street Fighter and super excited. And the rest of the people are like, I don't know, maybe people, or sometimes people tell me DNA or rugs. And so this is just an illustration that perception is subjective. Depending on your own history, prior knowledge with this game, you're not going to perceive this input in the same way.
See, they just told you something. Depending on your history with this game, you're going to perceive this information in a certain way. So the more people that play it, the more people get it. They said with Street Fighter, they only got like 30%. Not a lot of people were gamers back then compared to today. Weren't a lot of girls playing video games. Now, girls and boys play video games just about the same rate. And it's in that particular game, Fortnite, everybody get on it, and they don't leave it alone. It's been out for years, and they still play the same thing because there's stuff in it. There's stuff in it. It's got more purpose than just, I want to entertain you. Your kids are sitting there spending all their money on it. Microtransactions. Like, damn, where your money going? You're not learning to save money. You're not learning to, invest in certain things or give alms to the school. Little kids can give alms. You give your own alms. How many of y'all children think about giving alms? I see one hand in the back. But really, getting an alms envelope, you think your parents got to do it for you? Can you give me that real quick? Give me Tobit. This is a little sidebar. Tobit, let's get me 4.
Yes, sir. Tobit, chapter 4, verse 7.
Uh-huh.
Give alms of thy substance, and when thou givest alms, let not thy eye be envious, neither turn thy face from any poor, and the face of God shall not be turned away from thee.
Read on.
If thou hast abundance, give alms accordingly.
It says, did it say adults?
If thou hast abundance.
If anybody got extra money. If anybody. Read.
Give alms accordingly.
You should give alms. Why?
If thou have but a little.
So kids don't got a lot. If you might get an allowance, you might have a little summer job. You need to have your kids occupied, or they'll be Fortniting it. And they need to learn the money they make. You need to give some to the Most High. Christians do it. I know I was trying to go in my little wallet and give $1 or $2 to the church for nothing. What they doing is truth. You have their own little envelope. Start them now, because the path don't start when they turn 18. It's like, okay, now we're going to put you on the path to being a soldier now that you're 18. Guess what? They've been in truth since they was 13. And you ain't never really slid them toward the path of being a soldier or being a honorable sister or being a married sister. You're waiting until they turn 18. And then you wonder why they're not here when they turn 18, because we didn't set them on the paths they needed to be on at the time when we had more influence over them. We didn't break the connections Esau had set up with them when we had the opportunity to sever this connection. No phone. Some of y'all give your kids phones. That's on you. Oh, Lord, that's on you. Y'all that have 11-year-olds with cell phones and internet and Instagram. What 11-year-old need with Facebook? What 11-year-old need with a TikTok? Flip phone work just as good. You call somebody an emergency, you flip that thing out. It's got buttons on it. And you see the little LCD screen, and you're good. But that's my opinion. But read on. Is there more?
If thou have but a little.
If you got but a little.
Be not afraid to give according to that little.
Don't be afraid to let your children give according to that little that they have. Come on.
For thou layest up a good treasure for thyself against the day of necessity.
That's something for them too. You start to instill the right values in their mind. One, the Lord gonna reward them for that, because kids will learn to do it selflessly. Kids, if you grow them up in that, so you're supposed to give alms. They can be like, yeah, I'm supposed to give alms. That's gonna be in doubt. Give me that in Deuteronomy real quick. 4. You know what I want? I think it's 4 and 6 or 6 and 4. I always getting them mixed up. Deuteronomy
4 and 6.
Nope. Give me 6.
6 and
I want the one for the children. Yeah, 6 and.
Gotcha.
Give me just
Deuteronomy
to the
chapter
point.
6 and verse 7.
Yep.
And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children.
What we just read, you must teach that diligently to your children. Give alms of thy substance. Even if you got a little bit, always give alms. Not tithes, alms. Read.
And shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house.
Say, did you give alms? How much money you just make? Oh, good. You going to give some to the Most High? Yeah, I'm going to do that when I go to Sabbath. All praises. Come on.
And when thou walkest by the way.
That means that when they're going to be thinking, they can't get alms together if they're spending all their money on Fortnite and microtransactions in different games. You're like, well, some of this money got to go to the Lord. And that's teaching them early to start to sacrifice certain things for the Most High. Come on.
And when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
All right, so we're going to drop that. So go back to the video. I think I have another timestamp real quick. We're going to move along a little faster.
You perceive things, when you process information, and when you learn. So when you learn something new, like right now, it's not coming from the void. It's coming from your senses. So We have way more than 5 senses, by the way. We have over 20 senses. You can sense temperature, for example. And this information coming from the senses, you're going to perceive that, and you're going to process that information. And if you learn about something new, it means that you're going to memorize it. You don't learn if you don't memorize. So what happens in your brain when you memorize? It's physically changing your brain. We have synapses, so these are the connections between neurons, and these are changing. You have new synapses that are created, or synapses that are reinforced when you learn something. So when people are a bit afraid that video games, for example, are rewiring their kids' brains, they are correct. It
Pause.
is.
Stop it. Stop right there. It's hard to understand. She has a little bit of accent. Well, I hope you caught that. Can you run it back like 5 seconds? That's the whole point. Run about 5 seconds. That's the whole point. She said you got synapses, so on and so forth. She's doing a deep cycle. You'll forget what video you're watching. This is about a video game. Now play that again.
Your brain as you play your video game, but such as anything you do in life. Reading a book is rewiring your brain. Watching
Pause.
your brains.
Did you run it back, or
They
did
are
you run
correct.
forward?
It is rewiring
Yeah, go
your
back, go
brain
back. Make
as
sure
you
you go
play
back
your
about 5
video,
seconds.
or synapses are reinforced when you learn something. So when people are a bit afraid that video games, for example, are rewiring their kids' brains, they are correct.
Stop.
It is.
Stop. It's rewiring your child and yours brains. Some of y'all still playing video games like I had to put that thing away. If I do it, it's only with my children. You can ask my kids. It might be once in a couple months. I got a thumbs up in the back. It's once in a couple months. And I have a hatred of it because I know how bad it gets. I got some videos. People are addicted. People have died from playing video games. You can't tell me they ain't doing something to somebody's brain that you'll sit there in Korea. You got people that keep dying from exhaustion from playing video games all night, defecating and pissing on themselves because they can't put down a controller. There's something with that. Give me Psalm 64 real quick. I think there's a little more in this video. Give me Psalm 64 verse 6.
The book of Psalms, chapter 64 and verse 6.
Watch this. You can drop it down for a second. Read.
They search out iniquity.
What did the white man do?
They search out iniquity.
That's why that woman is sitting there talking about psychology. She's talking about synapses. That means they done dissected people's brain. They done ran electrical pulses, and they use that research to be like, I can better control the minds of these Negroes if I use these colors in this order, in this sequence. And when I press the button, there's no delay, or there's a slight vibration when I touch the button. Don't you know that makes your phone better? You know you like your phone. Remember that first came out? They call it tactile feedback. When you push the button, it goes zip, zip. You know you like that. You know they sit there and studied that. You know animals had to die to figure that out and stuff like that. They were experimenting to see, when I do zzz and I do zzz, that does something to the brain. And I got a better connection with them. I can control them better. They really like their phones when there's some zzz, when they touch it and it feels like a real button. That's why the kids like it. I'm telling you, we've been hacked. We've been hacked. Read on.
They search out iniquity.
They gonna search out your sins and ways to get you in sin. Read.
They accomplish a diligent search.
That's what his psychology breakdown is about. A diligent search. Come on.
Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
So the inward thought in the heart of every one of them is very deep. Now go back to the video. There's a little bit more, and I'm going to jump to my next one. Go back to the video. Go back to the video.
Rewiring your brain as you play your video game, but such as anything you do in life. Reading a book is rewiring your brain. Watching a movie is rewiring your brain. Talking to your friends. Right now, just watching my presentation, this is rewiring your brain.
All right, stop.
It's not.
I'm going to stop it there. You hear what she said? Reading a book. Reading a book. Reading a book is rewiring your brain. She said everything has an effect to rewire your brain. Watching movies. You know what I'm talking about now. How do we rewire our brain for the good? Give me a couple scriptures real quick. Romans 12 and 1. If you got something there, let me know. Give me Romans 12 and 1.
The book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 1.
Come on.
I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
Your body is a sacrifice. Read.
Holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service.
God saved you from this world. He's delivered you where you can think. Not deliverance where we escape it. We ain't delivered yet, physically. But he's done freed your mind where you can at least think. You done came up for air, but what the hell's going on? I can't believe I was just doing that stuff. I can't believe I thought Jesus was white. Your body is sacrificed. That whole life you had is to be burned. It's your reasonable service to expect to get rid of everything in your life. That's what it means. Not to go kill yourself. Everything that you ever had in life, it's your reasonable service to think, for the Most High, I got to get rid of it. It's your reasonable service. It's your cross to bear. There's another scripture that says, I count it all dung that I had before. It's your reasonable service to get rid of everything you used to know. Now read on.
And be not conformed to this world.
Because you've been wired. You've been hardwired to this world. That's what it's going into. There's new words for it. You've been hardwired into this world. They done fused your face into a motherboard. And they got wickedness flowing all in them circuits straight to your brain. Zzz, zzz, zzz. Read.
But be ye transformed.
Be transformed. So don't be afraid of changing. Be transformed. Read.
By the renewing of your mind.
It's all mental. You got to renew your mind. You got to renew your mind. You got to renew your mind. You can't renew your mind when the white man is reprogramming you all the time. You still got the connection. And you're like, I'm trying to renew my mind, but I got this thing. I'm still plugged in. I got an HDMI cord right here, and I'm trying to renew my mind. No, he's overwriting whatever you're doing. You got to break the connection. He said you can't live without technology. He said, I know if you unplug you, you're going to drop dead because I've been feeding you everything you ever known. So what he said, a book can rewire your mind, right? So watch this. Go to Baruch. I just want to, give me this one. Baruch 4:1.
Yes, sir. The book of Baruch.
And then Psalm 19 after that.
Yes, sir. The book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 1.
Let's see what book we need to tap into.
This is the book of the commandments of God.
This is what's going to rewire the mind. She said, even a book can rewire your mind. So we're going to use the Bible to rewire our mind. That's how we're going to be renewed in the mind. Nothing else going to do it. TED Talks ain't going to do it. Video games ain't going to do it for the good. You're going to have to use the book of the law. Read.
And the law that endure forever.
Read.
All they that keep it.
All they that keep. That means take it in your hand and do the commandments. Learn them and do them. Read.
Shall come to life.
You're going to come to life. You're going to be renewed in your mind. You were dead. Now you live in God's laws. Read.
But such as leave it shall die.
But leaving it, you go right back to death. Go right back to that previous state. You dead. You lost in the sauce. So such as leave it shall die. Keep reading.
Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it.
Take hold of the laws, statutes, and commandments. Take hold of the book, the Bible. Read.
Walk in the presence of the light thereof.
Walk in the presence. That means live your life in the light of God's laws. The light thereof is his laws. That's Proverbs 6:23. Keep reading.
That thou mayest be illuminated.
That thou mayest what?
Be illuminated.
Be what?
Illuminated.
Rewired. That thou mayest be rewired. Be illuminated. Now light come out of you. Now you're fixed. Now your brain work right. Now give me Psalms 19. Let's see about that rewiring, that light, all that. Psalms 19:7.
Book of Psalms, chapter 19 and verse 7.
Come on.
The law of the Lord is perfect.
So don't be afraid to embrace God's laws. Embrace this change. He says the law of the Lord is what?
Perfect.
What is it?
Perfect.
It's perfect. Read.
Converting the soul.
Bringing forth the necessary changes to bring you out of childhood. The difference is a man understands. Give me that video next. I want that video next. A man understands what the law means for him. I got that video. It says, IT, that one, it says, men do. It says something about what boys do and something what men do.
After the fight, why did you do that? You went to speak to the Texas A&M. You went to.
All right, so this is Daniel Cormier. This is a UFC fighter, black guy. And watch what he says.
Speak to the Texas A&M football team, just like days after the fight. Why did you do that?
I was talking to Jimbo Fisher, the coach, and he said, boys do what they want. Men do what they're supposed to do, you know, and I thought there was a lesson to be learned in that moment, you know, that I made a commitment to those kids to speak to them, and it was my job, and it was what I was supposed to do. You know, I'm not a kid anymore. Kids do whatever they want. Men do what they're supposed to do.
All right.
I'm a man, and
So stop. So just read that quote one more time for him. I think that's a heavy quote.
Kids do whatever they want.
That's the big difference. Kids do what they want. Come on.
Men do what they're supposed to do.
Man, that's it right there. That's it right there. That should be on the wall in your kid's bedroom, along with the scriptures. But men do it like a little boy. That should be something sewn into his mind. The difference between you being a child and you being a man is kids do whatever they want. Think about it. You live with your parents. You've got no responsibilities. This goes for little girls too. You got no responsibilities but to wake up, maybe go to school, learn a little something. Then have all the fun you want. More responsibilities you get, the closer to manhood you get. You can drop that video down. Give me a couple scriptures. 1 Timothy 4:12.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4 and verse 12.
Come on.
Let no man despise thy youth.
Let no man despise, meaning like, don't. You come in young, and there's different frames of age. Sometimes it's talking spiritually young. You just came into this truth. Sometimes it's talking about literal age as well. But nobody despise either of your youth. Like, man, look at this evil little 12-year-old. Or this dude just came through these doors. Don't let nobody despise your youth. Read.
But be thou an example of the believers.
But you're supposed to be an example of the believers every waking moment of your life. That's why you can't be a little boy. You can't be a little girl. I'm talking about grown men too. Some of y'all grown men, little boys. You go take off and I'm gonna go watch a football game. I'm gonna go hang out with worldly people. You know you got a responsibility to the Most High and to His people to be an example of what?
Be an example of the believers.
You gotta be an example of the believers. You can't do what you want. Wisdom shouldn't allow you. Read on.
In word,
read.
In conversation.
We can't have the same conversation we used to have. Fortnite. Hoes. Sports. Conversation got to change. Sin. Conversation got to change. So you be an example. Little kids, when they get to themselves in the back corner in every school, you know they ain't always talking about the Bible. Most of the time, they probably not talking about the Bible. You got to watch that. Y'all ain't be sitting over here gathered together just talking about anything. Sin gonna be in there. You gotta be an example in word and conversation. Read.
In charity.
Come on.
In spirit.
In your spirit. Read.
In faith. In purity. Men do what they're supposed to do, but boys do what they want.
You also say boys do what they can. They're gonna do whatever they're allowed to do. They're gonna do whatever they get away with. That's another attribute of a boy. Boys will do what they can. They'll push the limits on things. And you know whose mindset that is? Esau. Esau never grew up. He a Toys R Us kid. He do whatever the hell he want. He been like that since way back. Way back. The parents told him, don't marry the other nations. I'm gonna marry the other nations. What did your parents just command you? That's what Esau did in Genesis. He got 2 wives of other nations. That's been sown in him. Give me 1 Corinthians 13:11.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 13 and verse 11.
Yep.
When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things.
That's where we at. We all on the path to becoming men and women. I'm going to prove it. We're going to show you Esau, the child, the Peter Pan, who want us to be part of the lost boys, never want to grow up. How they, in their mindset, used to be ours. Give me that clip from Christians breaking biblical laws. I want the first one where it says comparing keeping laws to marriage. Esau is the devil. They don't know nothing about the Bible. And it's hard to listen to them talk about the Bible. But we're going to listen to them talk about the Bible just briefly. This whole clip about 60 seconds. They're having a deep discussion about why do Christians break God's laws? Because they're the devil. But watch this clip. He's going to compare the laws to wisdom. To marriage. I'm sorry. He's going to compare the laws to marriage. Now play that.
Is if you stripped away the relational portion of Elsa and I are married, if we just gave a list of the do's and the don'ts of our marriage or your marriage, Jeff, with Erica, it would sound really awful. Like you have to be available 24/7 by phone. You're not allowed to eat or drink or talk on the phone with people of the other gender for terribly long.
You always have to know where the other one is.
I always have to know where you are. You always have to sleep in this bed. If you're not going to be asleep in this bed by, our bedtime, then you need to book that
All right,
a week in advance.
Pause. You see what they're doing? Those are real rules for marriage. Most marriages, y'all got some kind of understanding. But they're breaking it down like a child would see marriage. Just the restrictions. You can't go talk to certain people. You got to be in bed by... That's how they're talking about marriage. But really, marriage is rules. Marriage is a conditional... It's a lot of conditions. Like, you can't cheat on me. You can't not be home, for days at a time. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody got to... I need to know where you're at. Even your wife might not want to know where you go. You can't just, leave town for a week and not say nothing. That's evil. You got to say something. She can't control where you go as a man of God, but you don't just bounce and be like, all right, I'll be back. I'm going to work in Puerto Rico. It's like, come on, man. What the hell? What kind of childish stuff is that? Then where were you at? I went to Puerto Rico. Just childish. I'll play on.
You always have to put the milk back in the fridge.
And if you don't, then...
The list is petty.
I mean, it's petty, it's long, it's arduous, it's stupid, it's and it sounds rotten.
If you wrote it down, it would sound like, dude, you have
If
to
you
go
wrote
there.
down all the implicit and explicit rules of a marriage, it would just sound so bad. You have to be emotionally available 24/7, physically available, All
right, so stop there. So they're complaining. Now, the next clip is going to start a little earlier, and you're going to get a little more context of what they're talking about. They just compared keeping God's laws to marriage. So they're saying in a marriage, basically what they were saying was the laws of God, and they're looking at the rabbinical 613. We know there's more laws than that. They're looking at those laws to say that's like taking away your relationship with God and just having the rules God set, which that's stupid. That's stupid. Give me 1 John 5:3. You keeping God's laws is your relationship with God. Give me that, and then 1 John 2.
The book of 1 John, chapter 5 and verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
This is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. This is how you show God you love him. Those laws that they say is so petty, so petty, these things. Because what they're going to do in this next clip, they're going to explain that they feel like the dietary law is petty. That's in this next clip. But that's like you saying me coming home at 3 a.m. smelling like alcohol, weed, and women. That's petty. Why I got to have that rule with you? Why can't I just do what I want? That's a child's mindset. That's Esau's mindset. Profane and vain fornicator. Read on.
And his commandments are not grievous.
Those rules they just said for marriage on there weren't hard to do. Come home and sleep in the same bed, be available. That's not hard to do. Except if you're a nigga. Except if you're an adulterer, it's hard to do. Go with 2 John 6 and then give me 2. We're going to go back to the clip. Come on.
The book of 2 John, verse 6.
Watch this.
And this is love.
This is love for one another. Read.
That we walk after his commandments.
That you walk after God's commandments. That you have rules. That you have limits. That God said. This is love. Read that again.
And this is love.
This is love. This is how you love your wife, your husband. Read.
That we walk after his commandments.
That God sets limits and you follow those rules. If you outside those rules, you don't love your husband. You don't love your wife. If you commit adultery, you do not love your husband and wife. If you punch your wife, you do not love your wife. That's not, it'd be like, I love you. Bam. I just love you so much. Sometimes I just want to hit you. You don't love me. That ain't love. Vice versa. That's a woman or a man beating on somebody. If your woman busts you upside the head, that is not love. The Bible says, be not a striker. They're breaking the commandments. How's that love? Now go to 1 John 2 and 6. It's all about rules and restrictions. But people see them like a child sees rules as something that's a burden. We're going to dive into that. Come on.
The book of 1 John, chapter 2 and verse 6.
Come on, 2 and 3.
Verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him.
Here's how we know we have a relationship with God. Read.
If we keep his commandments.
The only way you have the relationship is if you keep those rules that you think is petty, Esau. Read.
He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him.
So I think I fast forward a little bit. I couldn't wait to get to these scriptures. Go back to the clip, and we're going to read it again. Go to the next clip about the dietary law. It starts at like 6 minutes or something. I went ahead of myself a little bit. Go back to the main video. Start at 6 minutes and 56 seconds. This is about all I can stand to Esau. Play that.
Stay tuned. So there are all sorts of holiness laws, food laws, dietary laws that do create a distinct people. So maybe we should talk about that for a little bit.
So,
what
Paul-
are some examples of?
Now, I like that first part. There are all kinds of laws that do create a distinct people. You damn right. And you ain't them. You about to prove you ain't them. I want you to go ahead, hold that and get me Psalms 50. We don't keep playing, but give me that in Psalms 50. You know what I want, I think. Read. I don't mean play on.
Distinct.
So dietary laws are a good example.
Sure.
So all of the restrictions and all of the things that we enjoy, it does feel like God just outlawed the best foods.
No, it does. When it writes it, it does say like.
Pause. You hear how he said it? It's just like God just outlawed all the best foods. You rebellious, ignorant ass child. God just outlawed all the best foods. Play on.
Most of the time, it's like you get to eat these ones.
put
It
it
does
in
it
the
like a little
positive.
bit more positive. And then when we talk about like kosher, like they've like rewritten that, right, to be like this is the list. But like when he writes it, he's like you get to eat all these ones.
Get to eat cows and sheep
Yeah,
and goats, but not pigs and not vultures.
not vultures. But who would want to eat
I
a
like
vulture?
the vulture gets a name check.
Or like a bald eagle or something.
Listen how they laughing at
You're like,
Paul.
fair enough.
These are the things people have to. That's why people got to. That's why the missiles is coming. They laughing about these laws. They make a mock at sin. It's saying in Proverbs. They fools make a mock at sin. If you say we can't eat this, you can't eat a vulture. No, you're gonna. No, you dummy. No, you can't. And we're gonna make sure you do it in the kingdom. We're gonna make sure you follow it. Ain't nobody gonna be laughing that day. But play the rest of that. They make me sick.
Read that, and you're like, yeah, I don't want
Yeah,
to
we
eat
don't
that.
want to eat the vulture. We want to eat the pig and the lobster and the shrimp.
That's right.
Too
The
right.
best kinds.
That's literally my kid's favorite food. Like those three things.
And I think it's like a lot of people.
Yeah.
So that's a distinctness, right? If you're not allowed to eat these certain foods, then that means that, and also you're not allowed to associate with people that do.
So you see what Esau did? You're not allowed to eat those things. And according to the Bible, you're not allowed to associate with people that do. They just told you they're the people that do that. You heard Moab in the back or Ammon. Those are the best kinds. Of course you think that. You eat it raw. They talk about the laws like they are burden. You said it's all the best foods. No, the hell it ain't. Since when was it the best foods? Since you introduced it to us? Nowhere in the Bible did it say those are the best foods. Nowhere in the scriptures. Give me that in the Levitical law about the food. Leviticus 11. Give me the last two verses.
Yes, sir. The book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 46. This is the law of the beast and of the fowl and of every living creature that moveth in the waters and of every creature that creepeth upon the earth, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten.
He said, this is the law. Is severe, is grave, is serious. Ain't nothing for nobody to have an opinion about, but all the best foods. He said, this is the law of the beast and the fowl and every living creature, to put a difference between the unclean and the clean. A child look at that and be like, oh, he took all the best foods. That's Esau. He got all the best. I like shrimp. I like this. I like that. And that's what we got to grow out of. We got to grow out of that mindset, that childish mindset. Because a lot of us has conquered the dietary law. That was no problem. But then there's a whole bunch of other commandments that we ain't really following. A whole bunch of other things that we can't really stick with. We don't got the understanding on. We're going to go into it. Give me the scripture. Give me Susanna 1 and 3. Then go to Sirach after that.
What scripture?
A history of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 3.
Yes, sir. You still want that Psalms 50?
Yeah. Matter of fact, give me Psalms 50 first. You know what? That's the one I want, right?
Yes, sir.
50:16? Go ahead.
Psalms chapter 50 and verse 16.
Why did I pull up that clip? In case you forgot, Esau don't understand the relationship we have with God. We have, not he. He ain't got it. But we must remember our relationship with God. We must remember Jerusalem, how we got here in this truth. We said, I want to have a relationship with the Most High God. I love God. I just found out about him. He real. The Bible real. And then he chose me. But then the people that used to influence me, the people that hardwired my brain, that set up my mind from the beginning, the Negro that I was that was made in the laboratory, they got a different opinion. Watch this. How did God say they act?
But unto the wicked, God said,
Unto the wicked, Esau, read.
what hast thou to declare my statutes?
Oh, read again. What hast thou to do?
What is thou to do to declare my statutes?
What business do you have saying you're a Christian? What business do you have holding that Bible? What business do you have trying to explain my records? Read.
Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth.
What business have you calling yourself Christians? When you talk about, they love to talk about new covenant. They don't keep either covenant. They don't even understand either covenant. They don't understand the difference with animal sacrifice. So he said, what business have you talking about you Christian? Read.
Seeing thou hatest instruction.
You hate being told what to do. We just watched Esau. He took away all the best foods. And you watch the rest of that crap. They're going to go through all the laws and the sections and say, why they're so silly, why it doesn't make sense. You taking the love out of the relationship with God? No, you fool. The love is the keeping of the commandments. The grace is when you fall today, he loves us so much. When we make a mistake, he don't kill us on the spot. He allows us to fix it. You don't understand that. You hate instruction. You hate being told what to do. So all you see is ways out from keeping God's laws. But we, the repentant Israelites, are going to find out that these things that are on us, these bonds that the laws create on us, they're for our betterment. They're for our glory. Is that it?
Seeing thou hatest instruction and casteth my words behind thee.
Right. Now go to History Susanna 1-3.
The book of History of Susanna, verse 3. Her parents also
This is talking about Susanna. Susanna's parents also, come on,
were righteous.
they were righteous.
And
We're talking about the upbringing of a child. Remember we talked about generations. The title of the class is Escapism. A lot of things that we do, Esau has them as an escape from our heritage. He leaves paths to come back out of this truth, to stay away from the word. His paths of escape till we go back into the world. He's hardwired your brain. He already knows he knows what the eject button is to get you out of here. And he's pushing it every day. You have to unplug that damn thing. The button's there. You have to unplug it so it don't work. But watch how we begin to unplug from this stuff. Read. Her
parents also were righteous.
Her parents were righteous. Read.
And taught their daughter according to the law of Moses.
And taught her according to the law of Moses. That's what made them righteous. They taught their daughter according to the law of Moses. A good upbringing. You being new to this truth, you need a good upbringing. You need to be getting taught in the laws of Moses. You need to get taught all the time.
1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 13.
Come on.
Till I come, give attendance to reading.
So that's picking up from where we left off, but no man despise your youth. He said, till I come, give attendance to reading.
To exhortation.
To the building up of other brothers.
To doctrine.
To teaching. Reading, building up yourselves, and doctrine. To study, deep study. Come on.
Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy, with the laying on of the hands of the presbytery.
Come on.
Meditate upon these things.
Meditate on these things. Come on.
Give thyself wholly to them.
Now, when it said neglect not the gifts, it's going into your talents, the certain talents you have for the body. And it says by the laying on the hands of the presbytery. That means the body of elders, like headquarters, like your bishops and deacons. That's your presbytery. We got leadership. There's order and structure in the Bible. Now, 15 says this.
Meditate upon these things.
These things that you've gotten from leadership. Meditate on these things. It's going to unwire you and rewire you in God. Come on.
Give thyself wholly to them.
If you give yourself wholly to them, you won't try to escape. You'll just be changing all the time, every day. We got to change. We got to progress. We can never sit still. It's a hard thing. You can never sit still. Meditate upon these things. Read.
That thy profiting may appear to all.
So everybody can witness your change. Come on.
Take heed unto thyself.
Take heed to yourself. Examine yourself. Read.
And unto the doctrine. continue in them.
And continue in them. Continue in self-examination and continue in growing and learning in this truth. Read.
For in doing this,
And you doing this,
thou shalt both save thyself
you will save yourself. Read.
and them that hear thee.
Heavy. You'll save yourself and them that hear you. Stand in his word and completing the change. Growing up. Doing what you're supposed to do. Go to 1 Maccabees.
Sirach 33 still.
Yeah. Sirach 33 and 2. Give me that.
The book of Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 2.
So what's these things? We're talking about meditating in the doctrine. And doctrine is mentioned a couple times. Doctrine is the law. Right? Hold that. Give me the doctrine is the law.
Sir.
Then get Sirach 33. Proverbs 4 and 2.
Sir. Book of Proverbs, chapter 4 and verse 2.
It's not theology. The doctrine is the law. Read that.
For I give you good doctrine. Forsake ye not my law.
So that's the precept for doctrine. It's not any kind of teaching. It's not hermeneutics. The doctrine is the law. That's the only method of teaching. That's the only source we need. God's laws. We need this Bible, the book of the law. Now, go back to Sirach 33 now.
The book of Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 2.
Watch this.
A wise man, hateth not the law.
Esau hates the law. And Esau, in his deep thinking, he's thinking of how to unplug you and unwire you from the law. He's like, I hate the law. I don't want them niggas to know the law either. How to best unwire them? I'm going to give them Fortnite. I'm going to give them distractions. I'm going to give them different forms of media. I'm going to deeply ingrain them in technology so that they stay away from that one thing I fear, them keeping the commandments and coming back as the top nation on earth. Everything they do is to keep us from rising. Everything. Read.
But he that is an hypocrite therein is as a ship in a storm.
Read on.
A man of understanding trusteth in the law.
So we can't be hypocrites. A man of understanding trust in the law. Read.
And the law is faithful unto him as an oracle.
As a what?
As an oracle.
As a source of information, as an oracle. The law is faithful to you if you use it, if you stay in it, if you study it day and night. It's faithful. As an oracle, you know what an oracle is? Like they'll go and inquire of the oracle. That wasn't the Matrix, I believe. They call it the oracle. Oracle. Yeah, they called it the oracle. What did they do with the oracle? They went to go ask her what to do. They went in the machine. It's like, hey, go. We must consult with the oracle. That was all it's about. They risk life and limb to go talk to that. And you got the oracle in your hand. The law. That's how you figure out how to move. It's faithful to you as an oracle. Read that one more time.
Yes, sir. A man of understanding trusteth in the law, and the law is faithful unto him as an oracle.
Give me 1 Maccabees 4:42.
Yes, sir. The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 4 and verse 42. So he chose priests of blameless conversation, such as had pleasure in the law.
They had pleasure in it. So it can't just be, oh, I have to do this. You got to enjoy doing this. It's a lot of rewiring. You can't have a second love. You can't have a path to escape. You can't get stressed out and go hang out with your boys, the unrepentant boys. You better hang out with somebody in this truth that's going to build you up. You can't just go hang out with old friends because you got a couch you can sleep on. You can't just go do that. A lot of people let you come over their house. Like, hey, come chill with me, man. You going through something in this truth, you get correction, like, dang, man, I can't even stand being over here. Or you have issues in your marriage, like, dang, I need to go chill with the boys. I'm going to hang out with my cousins. Now, they smoke weed. They smoke weed. I'm going to hang out with auntie. But she a Christian. She got white Jesus on the wall. She let me stay over there. No, we got to stop doing that, man. We got to come out of those situations and environments and embrace the law, trust in the law. Is that it on that?
Yes, sir.
Give me Sirach 9:15.
Yes, sir.
Here's a proof on it.
The book of Sirach, chapter 9 and verse 15.
Uh-huh.
Let thy talk be with the wise.
Let thy talk be with the wise.
And all thy communication in the law of the Most High.
So who we talking to and what we talking about? If all your communications in the law of the Most High, who we actually talking to? Hold that, and we're going to come right back to it. Give me Sirach 27:17. Just popped in my head.
The book of Sirach, chapter 27, verse 17.
So it says all your communication in the law of the Most High. Your mama don't want to talk about God's law, so it can't be your mama. If you're fortunate to have a mama in this truth, they're all praises. But most of our mamas, when we start talking about the Bible, baby, I left the oven on. I think I left the, mama, you in the car. I think I left the oven on in another county. I'm baking cookies somewhere. I got to go. Baby, you talking about that Bible. I got to go. Read.
Love thy friend.
No. The indiscreet. I might be verse 12. I'm sorry.
Okay, verse 12.
Yes, sir.
If thou be among the indiscreet,
If you find yourself among people that are unbelievers,
observe the time.
if you're not dominating the conversation, get out of there. If you're not owning the conversation, get out of there. If you're not the center of attention, holding up a Bible, I'm talking about women too. You can speak of the word when you out. Don't try to teach a whole course on it, but, speak of the word. Hey, this is why I believe what I believe. This is where the Bible says wear dresses right here. But if you somewhere, y'all talking about, what's something women talk about? Like stupid TV shows, ratchet gossip. Like, ain't that what your sisters, ain't that what your mama call you for? Ain't that what she call you for? Really? What your auntie doing? What your cousins doing? Who died? I always want to call you talking about who died, who on drugs now. Your brother back on drugs. You know he done had another mental break. I don't want to hear all that. The Bible says that, Job was black and his skin was like, God, I got to go. You always got to just ruin the moment. Like that. Well, be gone then. Be gone. I know people that love to hear that. They be in that sanctuary. They be in that school. They love to hear the word. We can talk for hours. We be here all night and they got to be here early in the morning and be like, well, it was worth it. So go back to what I had you holding.
Yes, sir. The book of Sirach, chapter 9 and verse 15.
Come on.
Let thy talk be with the wise.
Let thy talk be with the wise.
And all thy communication in the law of the Most High.
And so that's your standard. As you try to reach the fullness of the measure of Christ, you think Christ is just talking about football and stuff? I know we working on it. Everybody gonna talk about a little bit of this, a little bit of anime, a little bit of, you watch some TV shows, you got some favorite shows. Try to begin to line that stuff up with the scriptures. It's like, okay, I'm gonna talk about a TV show. Let me make sure there's something spiritual in the TV show I'm watching. I'm not just watching, I can't think of any shows. I don't watch any. What's some dumb shows? Basketball Wives. What spiritual thing you gonna find in Basketball Wives? Basketball Thoughts. Nothing. So you be like, well, I can't watch that. But there's a little bit of something in this movie. I seen it in class. So I got a conversation I can have righteously with a brother over here. And we can build each other up. So start to work that stuff in. Start to work those things into your conversation. That way you stay in the laws of God. And what don't fit in the laws of God, cut it out your life so you renew your mind. I hope y'all understand that. Is there more?
And let just men eat and drink with thee. And let thy glorying be in the fear of the Lord.
All praises. So we go to Sirach 6:19. We'll start talking about that. Let thy glorying be in the fear of the Lord. Now, the fear of the Lord is the keeping of the commandments. The fear of the Lord. Let's get that real quick. Psalms 111:10, since I said it. Then go to Sirach 6:19.
Yes, sir. The book of Psalms, chapter 111 and verse 10.
Come on.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Fearing God is the beginning of wisdom.
A good understanding have all they that do his commandments.
All right, now go to Sirach 6:19. That's the fear of the Lord. Now come on.
The book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 19. Come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth.
Now what are we talking about? It says, come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth. Here's a precept for that. Now in the chapter it tells you what it is. But give me Proverbs 7:4. It says her. Who is her? Who is her? Proverbs chapter 7 verse 4.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 7 and verse 4. Say unto wisdom.
Say to wisdom.
Thou art my sister.
You my sister. God refers to wisdom in a feminine context occasionally. Come on.
And call understanding thy kinswoman.
All right, now go back. Now we know what we're talking about. Wisdom, understanding, which is what we just read, keeping the commandments. All one and the same. So go back to Sirach 6:19.
Sirach chapter 6 verse 19.
Come on.
Come unto her.
Come to wisdom. Read.
As one that ploweth.
As one that ploweth. Read.
And soweth.
And so if you're working. Read.
And wait for her good fruits.
And wisdom got fruits that's going to come out of you. Wait on her good fruits. Come on.
For thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her, but thou shalt eat of her fruits right soon.
You see that? This ain't like you got to plant something that's it takes a long time to sprout up. You get the benefits of wisdom almost immediately. Give me that, hold that. Give me James 1. This popped in my head, James 1. The benefits of wisdom come immediately. Because if you put the work into the Bible, it ain't like going to theology school. You're going to go to theology school for years and not learn nothing and have no fruit. Evil fruit. There's some nuggets or something, I don't know, them uneatable berries, them poison berries. But you come and labor in this truth and this gospel, you labor, you watch a class, one class from a captain. I'm not even talking about bishop and deacons. That's collegiate level stuff. You get more in one class with a captain, 15 minutes with a captain, than you would from a whole year of theology school. A whole 4 years, honestly. Hell, all the officers sit over like me and do in the classroom. You're getting more than all 4 years of theology school, plus 6 years as an undergraduate degree in being an idiot. You get more. You've got more. Y'all that came in and you've been here 3 weeks, you got more in your pinky than 90% of Christians. I hope y'all know that 90% of Christians can't. If you had your Bible in your pocket in front of you and your notes, you could confound 90% of Christianity. All of you. If you study a little bit, I got faith in that. You study a little bit, you can confound 90% of Christianity because they don't read it all. So how much more when brothers sit down and they do these high-level classes, and you hitting like 100 scriptures a class, and you remember it because you're God's children. You can take hold of that wisdom. We coded for that. What that say about wisdom? Give me that in James 1. You know what I want?
James chapter 1 and verse 5.
Let's get it.
If any of you lack wisdom,
If you lack wisdom, read.
let him ask of God,
You send up those prayers. Keeping the commandments, God gonna hear you. Read.
that giveth to all men liberally,
Come on.
and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him.
It's gonna be given you. There's no delay. You gotta apply for a certificate. You gotta complete it. No, here's Deuteronomy 28. That's one chapter. You know more than everybody. It's an unbreakable scripture. It can't be beat. They still trying to beat it. It cannot be beaten. It's one chapter. You'll learn it in the afternoon. And you already confounded 90% of Christianity with one chapter of the Bible. If you can break down Deuteronomy 28, know who you are, along with Christ's color, and along with like Matthew 5:17, or God's laws done away with. Most Christianity's failed against you. They have to send the people that's gone to school for years, financed by the white man, to come after you. I'll go back to what I had you holding.
The book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 19.
You gotta love wisdom. You gotta love those things. That's the thing. I truly believe that thing, man. For everybody, even the children. Most of these children, if they had the confidence to confound most of these scriptures, if you're not in sin, you got the confidence, you confound most of these Christians. God gonna win the battle for you. They're gonna look at their Bible going versus you, and their Bible gonna be blank. You're gonna have all the precepts. It looks like that. Because God fighting the battle with you. But read on.
Come unto her as one that ploweth
Come unto her as
soweth,
one that ploweth and soweth. Put in the work. Come on.
and wait for her good fruit. For thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her, but thou shalt eat of her fruits right soon.
You're going to reap the benefits of wisdom. Not just teaching, but your relationship going to get better. You in a marriage, it's going to get better because you're going to start to apply God's laws. You're not going to be a weed head no more. You're not going to be a coke head no more. You're not going to get missing from time to time. You're going to be even a better employee at your job. You might progress up the ladder of your job. Because what? Now you deal honestly. Now you're on time because, we're supposed to be on time for stuff. We're supposed to show a good example. Come on.
She is very unpleasant to the unlearned.
Now, the people that are unlearned hate wisdom. They hate it. Come on.
He that is without understanding will not remain with her.
He said, if you don't have understanding, you'll hate wisdom and you'll leave. You'll find a way to escape. You hate learning, you hate progressing, you'll be on a video game and it'll begin to outweigh your studies because you really hate wisdom. You hate the bonds of wisdom. That's what we're going to go into. Keep reading.
She will lie upon him as a mighty stone of trial.
So when you hate wisdom, it's like a child. It's like, ugh. Think about a big stone just laying on you, trying to lift up that big heavy. Oh, God. Oh, the Bible. Oh, MOV. Oh, I got to do all this stuff. Oh, God, I'm about to just get squished. That's a child's mindset. That's how children think. Come on.
And he will cast her from him.
And that person that sees wisdom as a burden, that sees everything we talked about as burdensome, and you rather be in, I say Fortnite, but anything. And this is adults too. This ain't just a teenager class. Like, you grown-ass men, that your love for God is smaller than your love for things of this world. You're going to find this truth to be burdensome, and you're going to be making your way to escape out of it. Hold that. Give me Jude 19. When this truth becomes burdensome, you're going to find your way out.
Yes, sir.
Instead of loving the pressure and taking that and funneling it into a certain, and starting to plow into it, what's going to happen? You're going to be like, I got to get away from all this pressure. This is stressing me out. Come on.
The book of Jude, verse 19.
Come on.
These be they who separate themselves.
That escape. These be they that escape. Read.
Sensual.
You is emotional. You are carnal.
Having not the Spirit.
You left because you didn't have the Spirit. You got out because you didn't plunge into it. See, I got to go. And Esau got his way. He's like, I hardwired you with the eject button. Whenever you want to leave, boop. Whenever you want to get out, just push that button. I left all the plugs in there. You didn't unplug them either. So the button's still there. What you want to do is unplug it. So then you go through something, you push the button, but you done unplugged it, so it ain't working for a while. It's like, dang, I want to get out. Wait, I got to stay in. I got to stay in. I got to push harder. I got to recover. You got to unwire your brain thinking that you can get out of this. You in this till death. So go and take the eject button out. Go back now.
The book of Sirach, chapter 6, verse 21.
Read.
She will lie upon him as a mighty stone of trial.
That's to the unlearned. Read.
And he will cast her from him ere it be long.
Mm-hmm.
For wisdom is according to her name, and she is not manifest unto many.
That's what I was going into. Not many people have this knowledge. That's why I said 90% of Christians. It's probably higher than that. It's like 99.6 can't stand against you. Why? Because wisdom really is spiritual like that. Everybody don't get it. We should not know all the things we know. How all of us from all these walks of life can break down the Bible better than everybody else. All of us from all these different walks of life, different ages, all the genders, some of the children. You know what I'm saying? People got learning disabilities can break down some of these scriptures. People in wheelchairs, people that got bad jobs, good jobs. We all can run through this Bible if we in the Spirit. It shouldn't be like that. It should be you go to the school, the theology school, and when you graduate, you get the doctor in front of your name, and those people are the ones that are good at the Bible. But that's not what happens. That's not what thus saith the Lord. You must keep the commandment, like we read in Psalms 111 and 10. Keeping the commandments gets you wisdom. Says she's not manifest unto many. I think I thought I had a precept for that. Keep going.
Give ear, my son.
Mm-hmm.
Receive my advice, and refuse not my counsel.
That's the Bible, the oracle. Refuse not her counsel. Come on.
And put thy feet into her fetters.
All right, T, pull out the imagery. Y'all know what fetters is. Fetters is chains. This is going into that approach that Esau was talking about, that child, and child mind. In the child's mind, you're going to look at God's commandments as just a bunch of restrictions. Oh, they take away the best foods. When you first come to the truth, it's like, dang, I love shrimp. Now I can't have shrimp. Instead of thinking, thank God you freed me from shrimp, thank God you strengthened me from seafood, unclean food, so I don't die. I ain't making myself sick. You initially look at it as like, God, now I can't do this. Now I can't do that. Pull up that imagery.
And put thy feet into her fetters.
Do what?
Put thy feet into her fetters.
You're going to feel like, you got the imagery? Come on, IT. Simultaneously. There you go. Read it again.
Put thy feet into her fetters.
Next image. Keep going. Put thy feet into her feathers. That's wisdom. Look at it. Wisdom initially going to feel like this. I can't move the way I used to move. Read.
And thy neck into her chain.
Now get me that neck part. Put that neck. See, it looked like restriction. I can't say the things I wanted. I can't move. I can't break this. I can't go to the mall on the Sabbath. I can't hang out with my cousin, Boo-Boo and them. I'm not going to smoke the weed. I might catch contact. It says, jump into that restriction. Jump into those feathers and chains. Read. Keep playing. Keep the images going.
Bow down thy shoulder and bear her.
You know it's heavy, but he said, get up under that thing. Use your legs to lift. Instead of being like, oh, God, I'm about to die. I'm crushed. It's like, no, get up under that thing. We're going to lift these weights. We're about to get strong. You got to start feeling like that instead of feeling, oh, my God, this immense weight. I got to get out of here. Where's the eject button? No. Dive into that thing. Yeah, put on the chains. Put on the feathers. Put on wisdom. Read.
And be not grieved with her bonds.
Don't be grieved with her bonds. Is that all the images? Keep going. Be not grieved with her bonds. All those bonds is wisdom. Now give me the next images. Thank you. Read on.
Come unto her with all thy heart.
Come on.
With thy whole heart. And keep her ways with all thy power.
So you're going to keep her ways with all your power. You're going to use your whole mind. Hold on, don't flip through them yet. I'm almost there. Keep reading.
Search and seek.
Read, study, read.
And she shall be made known unto thee.
Wisdom going to manifest herself to you. Come on.
And when thou hast got hold of her, let her not go.
Read.
For at the last thou shalt find her rest, and that shall be turned to thy joy.
Now that's what these images is for. Read on.
Then shall her fetters be a strong defense.
Instead of chains on your arms and legs, her feathers go through these braces. Wisdom is you thought it was chains, and it was braces, something to protect you. And it was beautiful. Look at it, and it's purple and gold too. You thought it was for your restriction, but really it's for your power. It shows who you are when we put these things on. It protects you in battle. It'd be like, those Israelites, those guys' people, look how protected they are. Look how bad them things look. Look at wisdom on them. They know not to eat unclean foods. That's smart. They're not getting sick like we getting sick. Come on.
Then her fetters shall be a strong defense for thee. And her chains a robe of glory.
You see that? Now, I see you on point with that. Her chains, instead of being like, oh, I can't breathe, becomes that robe of glory. Show that robe from the back. It becomes a robe of glory. It's something you walk through the streets and they see them fringes on you. At first, it's like, damn, I got to buy all these fringes for every shirt, all the shirts, but I have like 20 shirts. Can I just wear one shirt? At first, it's like, I don't know about you. I was like, I'm going to get these 2 shirts. I'm going to get these. I'm going to cut it into these 2 shirts. I'm going to have fringes on 2 shirts. Get a ribbon. Get a cheap ribbon. Whew, this is expensive. I'm going to toe up this shirt. And I'm going to just try to wear this jacket and this one shirt to everything. Meanwhile, I got all these shirts. And then, meanwhile, it looked good. Meanwhile, sometimes we've gone out with other brothers. We're going out, and they'll see us in our fringes and be like, what y'all into? I like that. The brother's just saying, I like that. We ain't said nothing. We don't have flies in our hand. We going to Ale House. I know me, Jeremiah, and some other brothers. It might have been Captain Josiah too. We go in there and just standing outside waiting. Brother stop, and he's having an epiphany. He's like, man, I like that. He can't even move. Man, I like that, man. We like, what? What you like? I like what y'all got going on. Like, we just standing here talking and laughing and not being niggas. But it's like, damn, it was the fringes that really, the brotherhood too, the unity. But he's like, the fringe, man, the thing in your shirt, that thing nice, and y'all all got it. That speaks so much because it's wisdom. But before, it was like a change. Like, damn, I don't want to wear these things all the time in front of my family. I got to wear this to school. You know, your kids is looking at it like a chain, right? Y'all kids is looking at it like, damn, I got to wear this to school. I hope I can bring a shirt. I'm going to bring another shirt and change into it. So I ain't trying to get picked at. I'm going to say it again. They might bring another shirt to school and change into, not to get picked at, because you ain't really taught them the glory, the honor, the defense that wisdom bringeth. This ain't a burden to you. This is your strength and power. This is your glory. This is what makes us different and unique. Hold that real quick. Give me that in Deuteronomy 14:2, I believe. Peculiar. You know what I'm talking about?
Is it peculiar?
Peculiar people.
Oh, yes, sir.
That's it.
The book of
Remember that Edomite said, we ain't play it long, but that Edomite said, I might get him and pull that clip back up again. Pull the clip up again. I forget how he said it. That one where he said, the dietary law clip. That first part he says, I want that again. I forgot what he said. Go ahead and read that scripture.
Deuteronomy chapter 14 and verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
We are holy people unto God. Read.
And the Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a peculiar people.
What kind of people?
A peculiar people.
Set apart, special, holy, dignified, glorious, magnificent, godly. Read.
Unto himself.
Unto himself. That means it don't matter what nobody else think about you. God sees you as those things. God sees you as peculiar. I don't care. I don't give a damn what the Esau thinks. What Moab think. What the unrepentant own people think. Y'all niggas look stupid. Y'all niggas wearing dresses now. Y'all got the little twirly things on. Give a damn what they think. They all die here in flames if they don't repent. They all die. And Esau is going into slavery. Meanwhile, God sees us like, well done. Well done. You did it. Instead of hating it, instead of thinking it was a burden, instead of trying to escape, You leaned into it, you got fringes on all your stuff. You don't even got pants no more, sis. God say, well done. You cut them pants. You didn't keep a spare pair. That's an escape. You keep that one pair of pants in there. We can get on sisters real quick. Some of y'all knew. Give me Deuteronomy about the pants. 7:26.
Okay, 7:26. Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 26.
This is to thou that has the eject button. Your eject button as a sister is you got that one pair of abominable pants. Just in case I might have to wear it to work. I just ain't gonna get rid. That's my favorite pair of pants. They're corduroys. I can wear it under my dress. No, you can't. Pants is pants. Leggings is different, but pants is pants. Watch what God says.
Neither
Neither
shalt thou bring an abomination into thine house.
should anything abominable be in your home. No. Are pants an abomination to women? Yes. They all gotta go. That's how you lean into it. How about your daughter? But mom, please don't throw away all your pants are gone. They were gone yesterday. They're on fire outside in the backyard. Go save them. That's how you do it. You gotta show kids that. They ain't got no freedom, no liberty. Your pants are gone, they've been gone. Same thing with your wife. Your pants are gone, it's been gone. Now what? What you gonna do? What's up? Bust a move. I'm not trying to get you to fight, but hey, bust a move, what you gonna do? I gotta get the abominations out. You finished that?
Neither shalt thou bring an abomination into thine house.
Read.
Lest thou be a cursed thing like it.
Some of y'all still got white Jesus in the corner because your mama bought you the statue. Some of y'all still got a Christmas tree in the attic. You know it's there, but you're like, it's still in the box. Get it all out. Clean it all out your house. Start with the physical, and you're going to work through your spirit. There's still things in your spirit you ain't got rid of yet. You got Facebook pictures that's old with cleavage. Some of you brothers got your shirt off and stuff. Some of you still got clothes that you know you ain't supposed to be wearing. Your pants still sag below your butt. There's a couple brothers ran up out of here. Now you see them in the world, no fringes, and they dress like they 23. They 40-year-old men. And they out there dressed like they 23. There's something you didn't put off and you found a way to escape. There's something you forgot about. A lot of times it's your family. It's the wicked among your people. You want to fit back in with the world. You don't want to leave sometimes your family alone. You ain't put that thing off yet. You left a way to escape. You got to cut off all methods of escape. Go back to what I had you holding initially. Sirach 6, I believe. Yeah, go back there.
The book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 28.
Come on.
For at the last thou shalt find her rest, and that shall be turned to thy joy.
Come on.
Then shall her fetters be a strong defense for thee.
Put that picture back up. Put that imagery back up. Come on.
And her chains a robe of glory.
And then the chains that were on you that restricted you and bound you, and you didn't understand as a child. When you grew up in this truth, you understand, this was my glory all along. I was armored up all the time. Give me back in Ephesians. Sir. I was armored up the whole time. I didn't realize it. Ephesians 6 and 10.
Sir. The book of Ephesians, chapter 6 and verse 10.
Come on.
Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might.
Come on.
Put on the whole armor of God.
That's what it's also going into. The whole armor of God is dealing with the wisdom of God. Put on the whole armor of God. Put that wisdom on. Put those fetters on. Put those chains on that turn into armor. Read.
That ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
That's how we fight. Put on wisdom. Let it be your kinswoman. Let it be your sister. Walk with wisdom. Dive deep into it. That's going to be on you like armor to fight against the devil. Come on.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of darkness of this world.
They're doing deep dives into the spirit realm to find out what they can use against you. You got to put on the whole armor of God. Physical and metaphysical, spiritual. Put on the whole armor of God on your spirit. Put wisdom on. Go back. Sirach 6, we're about to shut it down. Sirach chapter 6, verse, pick it up at 30.
Sirach chapter 6 and verse 30.
Read.
For there is a golden ornament upon her, and her bands are purple lace.
Look at the cut. Read that again. Hold up. Put the imagery back up. I heard something in the Bible that I like. You heard it? I heard something in the Bible I like. Read that again.
For there is a golden ornament.
There is a golden ornament
upon her.
On her gold. Read.
And her bands are purple lace.
Purple and gold. Well, I mean, nothing against any other camps, but I'm glad I'm where I'm at. I don't know about you, but I'm trying to put on the purple and gold. I want the ornament of gold and the purple lace. Because thus saith the Lord, that's what wisdom is to you. It's like, read it again. That's what wisdom is to you. Read it again.
For there is a golden ornament upon her.
There's a golden ornament when you put on wisdom. Read.
And her bands,
And the bands that used to restrict you but now protect you. Read.
are purple lace.
Man, y'all better put on that purple and gold. I ain't playing with you. Y'all better put it on, man. Again, nothing against any other camps, but I know where I'm at. I'm going to be over here. Lord's will I endure. I'm going to be over here because that's what we putting on. Not just the physical colors. We putting on wisdom. It's not even our own selfish mission to make ourselves look good. We just trying to get the kingdom. We pray everybody trying to strive to get the kingdom. And that's how we're going to get it. If we move in the spirit. Give me one more script, I think. Ecclesiastes 8:1. So don't find ways to escape. Lean into wisdom. Embrace it. Understand that we only talked about Fortnite for a little bit. I won't do no deep dive into video games because all of them wicked. Mortal Kombat 1 coming out. It's about to suck away half your life. You know you are. About to get that Liu Kang going. That's fine. There's nothing against the law doing that. But when it outweighs your studies, some of y'all can't get ahead in the MOV program because I'm too busy. Meanwhile, your gamer tag got all these achievements. Boop, boop. You're at your house. That's all you hear. Boop, boop, boop. You spent 8 hours on the game. You know they're rewarding you for staying on the game too damn long. They're rewarding you. It's like you walked 100 miles and then boop, boop, boop. You're in the program really good. We've completely dominated your mind. Boop, boop, boop. Achievement unlocked. You're a slave. That's what you're getting. Read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 1.
Come on.
Who is a wise man?
Who's a wise man?
And who knoweth the interpretation of a thing?
Who can understand the Bible and the world? Come on.
A man's wisdom.
A man's wisdom
maketh his face to shine.
changes you. It changes you. It changes. Your face is different. In the spirit, people see it. They see the armor of God on you. They see wisdom wrapped around you as protection. Read.
And the boldness of his face shall be changed.
And the boldness of your face shall be changed. Hey,
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation